good morning, hon buns. I am having a morning. Oh my goodness gracious. I feel like, off the movie, something saying, I am having, a very bad day. And Eddie Murphy was on, was that 48 hours? I done walked out the door, y'all, coming to the car. There's a possum on the porch, wet possum on top of that. I guess, trying to find shelter from all the rain from last night. And then as I get to the door, I'm trying to swipe mosquitoes from my driver's door so I can get in the vehicle, y'all. And I open the door, not clearing myself while I'm trying to shoo all the mosquitoes, like the mosquitoes away from the door. Out of the edge of the door, done popped me in the face right here. I was like, I am not having a good morning. I sit up here and woke up out my sleep about 3 o'clock this morning. I was like, okay, I had to use the restroom really bad, y'all. I know it's TMI, but I did. And I was like, I'm going to get right back in the bed till the alarm go off, right? And that's what I did. Went on right back to sleep. Alarm went off, y'all, I laid there. I'm thinking in my head to myself, I'm thinking about, okay, I gotta get up, brush my teeth, do my hair. I already know what I'm gonna wear, and my lunch is already made. I'm thinking of all this. Y'all, I done dozed back off and went to sleep. My final alarm goes off. I'm like, oh my gosh, I laid here and went back to sleep for real. I was like, oh my goodness. That's why I'm referring to Eddie Murphy from the 48 hours when he said, I am having a very bad day. That's where that's from. So, it is what it is. We don't get on to this job. We are running a little bit behind. And so, once again, hopefully y'all had a good night's sleep. You were able to get to home, work, your destination of choice, safe and sound in one piece. No house of fuss, trouble, problems, or misunderstandings. No meet and greets. And, you had an overall good day yesterday. I got home yesterday. I guess my cousin had checked the mail because when I got home, there was no mail in the mailbox. And you know how you can look at the, there's an infirmary that if you sign up for the post office, it'll show you what mail you have for the day. It's in a mailbox. It'll even tell you if you have packages that's supposed to be delivered from the post office for that week or something like that. If it's scanned in, then, it'll be on there too, right? But, I saw what was supposed to be. I said, okay, well, let me stop and get the mail. There's the fire truck. I said, let me stop and I'm going to get the mail and go on in the house, right? Because I stopped and I got my go-to food to eat when I don't know what I want. But I know I'm probably hungry later. I ain't coming back out. So I got a bean burrito, right? Actually, I got two. I got 2 bean burritos. And I got 2 of these spicy, like on the bean burrito, I told them no cheese, extra sauce, right? And on I got 2 spicy potato tacos. I told them no cheese and no sauce on the spicy potato, just the lettuce and tomatoes and the potato and the taco. And I opened up the taco because I was going to eat it going home. And there is just lettuce on it, no tomato and the potato. I was like, I'm not going to be going through this long line because they did were drive-through. It wasn't a long line, but I was like, I don't feel like going back through just be asking for tomatoes on the potato taco. Then I thought about it. I was like, yeah, I don't want it on there anyway. I said it'd be good for one that I would be eating right now. I said, but the one that I'm gonna take to work tomorrow, I said no, because that's gonna make make it soggy. I don't want that. So for anybody, be like, oh, you eat yes, I eat leftovers. Okay, I'll save something, or if I don't eat it all, it can be for me to eat the next day, later on, whenever. So yes, I do. This is not up for debate. You be left on the playground where you stand. Okay. So, like I said, I got 2 each. So, I just waited till I got home. I didn't, but, eat it. And so when I got home, I took out one of the potato tacos, and I took out one of the bean tacos. Got my sauce packets ready, and I'm sitting there shaking them and, flapping on them and shaking them. I open up the bean burrito so I can add some taco sauce to it on the inside. Why is it dry? You can see a little bit of the red sauce, but that was it. It was basically dry. I said, now I know I asked for extra red sauce, but hell, I thought it came with some red sauce, period. But it was a little. I was like, I'll be darned. So that was only the one I ate yesterday. I don't know what the one looks like, the one I'm bringing to work for lunch. Like, I'm gonna eat the potato taco for breakfast. I'm gonna warm that up. But the bean burrito that I have for lunch, because I bought some bag of jalapeno chips, and I have my sparkling waters with me. So I'm looking like, I don't know what I'm gonna get. I feel like Forrest Gump right about now. Lock, box, chop. You never know what you're gonna get. I know what love is, Jenny. But that's how I'm feeling right now. I don't know what I'm gonna get. So it is what it is. That's the best I can say. It is what it is. And work from there. What did I watch yesterday? Oh, I watched the Have and Have Nots. Right. Of course, Benny, getting into a fight with Mitch's cousin, I believe. I don't think that's Mitch's brother. I think that's his cousin. Because Benny's realtor is actually Mitch's cousin's ex-girlfriend, right? She doesn't deal with him. She don't want to deal with him. She's basically pretty much terrified of the dude. And he's a, small little cat. Like, he's not like some terrifying dude. He just got a temper, right? He loves intimidating people or using his family's name to intimidate people. Because other than that, he ain't got a leg to stand on. The boy, basically, you can whistle, wind can blow, and he just gonna fold and blow away. The child, the man playing the character is he a lightweight, featherweight, whatever it is, a drop of milk. I don't know what you call it, but the baby ain't got no weight on him. Like, so they getting into a tussle. So next week they supposed to be darn near tearing up the restaurant with they shenanigans of fighting each other, right? Because Benny done, at the end of the episode, Benny done cracked him in the head. When I say he, I mean Mitch's cousin, in the head with the bottle. I guess the beer bottle or wine bottle, whichever one that was sitting at the table. I think it was a beer bottle though. At the table, right? And it's just, Jeffrey freaking out because Jeffrey's brother told him, not Jeffrey's brother. Jeffrey's freaking out because Justin's, the guy who killed himself, right? He was so obsessed with Jeffrey. Justin's brother told Jeffrey that Justin had AIDS or HIV, and that he was saying if he couldn't take Jeffrey one way, he would, take him with him another, or whatever it was. Basically scaring the child. Well, scaring the man. Jeffrey be real scary, honey. Move, truck! Man, he missed my opportunity to get the red, like the grapefruit, red grapefruit sun. And I tell you, baby, no, I guess y'all saying, well, I'm glad. Hell, because you always try to show somebody the sun. We don't want to be seeing that. Oh, my goodness gracious. But, oh, there it is. There it is. But by the time we get on the other side, more going eastbound and everything, you'll see that it'll be not so much of a red grapefruit color. It'll, you know, be more of the egg yolk sun bright. Because, you know, at this time, the sun is, you know, breaking through and, you know, basically it's doing this, Diana Ross, I'm coming out. The sun just like, yes, stretch, get your stretch on. I'm coming out. So it's in the mornings like this, it's that color. But within a few minutes of the sun, you know, rising and coming out, then it becomes, because it really doesn't take that long, right? I say probably in the next 5 minutes, it'll be from that color to a more of a egg yolk color of the sun, brighter yellow, right? A brighter yellow, a brighter orange, but it'll be brighter. And but back to the story. Jeffrey panicking. So Madison goes ahead and does the test, tells Jeffrey he can get his results in 20 minutes, right? And that, you know, from that point on, Jeffrey needs to practice safe sex and everything and be cautious and careful about his partners and things like that, right? So, results come in. He tells Jeffrey, no, you don't have it. You didn't test positive. You're fine. And he was like, well, why did, you know, Justin, like, why did he say that? Why did he? And so Madison asked him, he said, Justin told you that? He said, no. He said, okay. He said, well, I can't really tell you what's in his medical files because I can get fired for that. So he said Madison looked in the records, but he was looking at his list of medication because there's certain cocktails or whatever people, I shouldn't say whatever, there's certain cocktails that are administered as a prescription for those who have HIV or AIDS that Madison was telling Jeffrey about. So he's looking around his list of medication. And so he tells Jeffrey, he said, I can't tell you if it is or if he's not, and or anything that, you know, they're doing downstairs. It's in the morgue for testing. He said, but what I can tell you is that Justin did not lie to you. And he was like, Jeffrey sitting up there like he can't read between the lines of understanding that Justin had lied to him because Justin never told him that. And he was like, huh? And Madison said, so did Justin tell you that? He said, no. He said, okay, so Justin never lied to you. If Justin never told you that, then Justin never lied to you. And so Jeffrey's like, he was like, you know, Madison looks back at him with a stern look, and he was like, oh, okay, thank you. And I was like, you really couldn't figure that out about what that man was saying to you. And so he said, who told you that? And he was like, well, Justin's brother. He's like, well, I don't know why he would tell you that. He said, well, he said he has a package from me that's from Justin. And everything. He was like, well, I wouldn't be bothered with his brother. I wouldn't be fooling with him. Whatever the package is, just leave it. And he said, but I already gave him my address. And he was like, well, he said, you're like, at your dad's house? He said, yeah. He said, I already gave him my address. He said, well, at least you got security there. And, they putting together a little, Fair's ground over here in the parking lot. A food But he was like, okay, at least you have security here. He said, but I wouldn't go meet him or anything. Tell him to bring it to you. And Jeffrey was like, I will. Then Justin's brother calls him and was like, hey, I'm not going to be able to make it. Can you meet me? And Jeffrey was like, no, it's not going to be. I just, no, I'm not going to be able to. So he was like, well, at least will you come to the service? He was like, I don't think your mom would be happy about that, right? Because Justin's mom is very upset and very much blaming Jeffrey. She already cursed him. I mean, like cussed him out and cursed him basically in all shapes and forms. She just very much upset. So he was like, I'll bring it then to the service, because he was like, it's tomorrow night. I was like, what funeral services at night? I know memorial services, wake services, you know, before the actual funeral service be sometimes be in the late afternoon at night, so you can see the view and everybody and all this, that, and the third, right? So I'm like, Madison tells him again, I don't think you should go. You might want to just leave this alone, right? And he was like, well, you know, I'm just going to go. And Jeffrey is just about the one that you want to slap the most, hell. So, Madison just rolls back over and goes back to sleep. Basically, he know he talking to a brick wall, because you tell Jeffrey something for his good, and he's still gone and do whatever, because he can't get out of his head about some things. So, with that in mind, sorry y'all, with that in mind, you know, it is what it is. She's still on the no-flight zone, and so she's just trying to wait out the 4 days that Landon said give him 4 days about, right? And that was about, you know, I think next week's episode, Veronica is supposed to be talking to Jim on the doorstep at their home, at Jim's house, right? And Jim was like, you know what? I guess he's telling her she's treading on thin ice, or whatever it is. And that, you know, she's basically could be dead or end up dead or something like that. And she said, and you too. So, oh, excuse me. I guess she must be trying to talk to Jim about that file she was looking for, that she went to Catherine to ask about. But Jim and David has already said if Veronica gets hold of that file, that that can bury all of them, not just Catherine, but for Jim and David as well, right? David Harrington. You know, him and Jim are just like closest peanut butter and jelly, thick as thieves, honey. So they realize that's what she's looking for, or that's what she's up to, right? Because if she has that file has the registration of the gun that was used to kill D.A. Salazar, right? If you watch the episode, you know Catherine killed that woman. She turned that gun and blasted back, and then chased Veronica around the house with a knife. So, and but that's what I watched yesterday, was the when I got home, the half and half nights. And I saw that Loki. I was like, what? I said, they got a show for Loki? Well, and then, okay, after I finished watching Half and Half Nots, my best friend told me that Verzuz was on, right? I was like, huh? I said, who they got tonight? And he was like, they got Eve and Trina. I was like, I don't know if that was, you know, a good little, you know, one. I said, I guess it's more about the appreciation of the music and the celebration. I said, not so much of, you know, they were still out in the same era of time when it came down to the era of the year. And I said, so, you know, I said, I don't think it's so much about if you like one better than the other. I'm realizing it's more or less about the appreciation of the music, just hearing it. And some things, you know, click for you and you remember certain things or certain places you were or people you were dealing with, to where, you know, it becomes nostalgia, you know, muscle memory about certain things. And so I clicked into it, and I asked my best friend, I said, is Trina pregnant? He was like, I don't know. He said, because he was driving, going back, you know, he went and picked himself up something to eat, and he was driving back to his house. So he was like, I can't watch it right now. He was like, you know, I'm driving. I was like, oh, okay. I was like, she looked like she pregnant. So when he got home, and he actually turned it on his tablet, and he looked, he said, yeah, she looked pregnant. He said, I think she is. She said, she might be like 6 or 7. I was like, I don't know. I said, because I've never known Trina to have a stomach. I said, but she definitely looked pregnant. I said, you know, she done gained a lot of weight, or Trina definitely looked pregnant. And so, hold on, y'all, because these people ain't letting me in like I got to make my way. I got to get in where I fit in. But yeah, so I'll probably have to Google it and see, because I didn't do it last night, because after the Verzuz was off, and while I was watching it, it got up to 329 or 330 K viewers that was watching. Could have been more than that, you know, before I started watching. And then you have other platforms that people use, like YouTube and Tidal, and I think they said AT&T TV and all that other type of stuff. Different ways that people will tune in to watch Verzuz. So I guess they had to, you know, Swiss Beats Timberland usually, you know, finds out what the numbers are, you know. But other than that, it was actually pretty good. You know, it was okay. And so after I finished watching Verzuz, that's when I went back to I was like, okay, well, let me watch Loki. And that's from Marvel Comics, Loki, Thor's brother. So I watched episode 1 last night. I tried to watch episode 2. Back my eyelids were calling me, and it was going on 9:30. My back of my eyelids were calling me. So even though I tried to start watching 2, episode 2 was watching me, okay? Because I rolled over and I went to sleep. I said, oh, well, I just have to try to watch it again. When I get home today. Oh, I also watched All American last night, because this next week's episode is going to be the finale on the 20th. Did it say the 28th? I'm gonna have to go back and look in the because I was looking to see it, the season's guide on Google, and I was 8th because this episode was on the 14th, right? It says. So I think the next one is on the 22nd or the 28th. I have to go back and look. It's the 20-something, right? That is supposed to be airing is the season finale. All American. And then I also had on Google down the little, you know how it gives you a time, Google News or whatever. Well, on that timeline for Google News, it said LA Finest would not be renewed for a 3rd season. So it was only the first, you know, the 2 seasons. It said it won't be renewed for a 3rd season. I was like, wow, okay. I was like, after somebody done blew up Sid's car, they done blew up her car at the funeral service. I was like, you got to be cool. Like that's how you gonna leave. But you got a lot of good, you know, a lot of shows that the ending is just left there with a cliffhanger, and they never renew or go past anything. You just left with that, and you be like, for real. That's it. There's no more. That's how y'all ending it. Like, so now unless they get picked up by another network, that's where it's being left at. So yeah, because I think her partner's name is Maddie. Her husband was killed by the Russian mob, the guy that they went after at the end of the season for arms dealing and everything. Because her husband was looking into their supposed to be a shell company that they use for, you know, business and real estate and stuff like that. But their actual business was arms dealing. So, you know, they were able to arrest him. And so while they were at the funeral service and everyone else had already left, and his daughter, well, Manny's stepdaughter, said that she wanted to stay and live with her for, you know, the rest of the school year and whatnot. And she didn't want to go stay with her auntie. So, you know, that made her, you know, smile a little bit. And so as Sid and Maddie's walking, I think her partner name is Maddie. If I'm saying the wrong name, y'all forgive me. But they're walking back to the car from, you know, after the funeral service, and Sid presses the remote on the button on her remote to start the car, and the car just blows up. She had a nice car. I mean, a nice car. And I was like, ooh! No, they didn't blow up her car. No, they didn't blow up her car. Not so much about the danger that, you know, that was perceived to be around it. It was more or less, I was like, no, they didn't blow up the car. It's almost like the feeling I felt when I was watching, I think it was Lethal Weapon 1 or 2, when Mel Gibson had the GMC truck and he was trying to pull down that house on the hill, that was on the stilts, on the house on the hill, and he was pulling the car and he kept flooring it, and the back end of the truck would lift up and yank. And I was like, you messing up the truck. I was like, what you doing? You messing up the truck. That's how I felt about Sid's car. What can I say? I'm just being very honest with you, right? All right. And there's my sunshine. Living the life in the sunshine. No, I can't sing, and I never proclaimed to be. So don't come for me. You be on the playground where you stand, okay? But I know you see it. I know you see it. It is beautiful. I know you got to see it. That is beautiful. The sun. I'm gonna say. Y'all see that? Y'all see that? That is beautiful. I love it. I love it, I love it, I love it, I love it a lot. So, roll this window back up and put y'all back on the cradle because there is this beautiful sunshine. Well, not with the window in the way, but there is the beautiful sunshine. It is what it is. So, alright, we're getting into downtown. And I guess y'all say enough of my damn shenanigans and everything. Like, we get it, lady. We understand. You love the beautiful sky, the sunshine, the moon and the stars, and the night skies. We understand. And you know what's so funny? Like, as much, sorry for having y'all like that. As much as I love the sunshine and the moon and the stars and, you know, the beautiful sky and stuff, I'm still not an outdoors person. That's for real. I'm not an outdoors person. So, but yeah. So when I get home, I'll be watching Loki, episode 2. Because this is season 1. So I'm glad they're doing Marvels. You know, I'm putting them on the air. Giving us a chance to see them in other dimensions besides just the movie. You know, actually spreading out their characters and, you know, in the scope of things of how when it comes back to the movie, it's kind of like having a full, you know, understanding of the character, right? So, and, but yeah. So I'm a Google today because the only reason I'm like what changed the other thing that changed me that you know I found kind of like I was like what she say on the Verzuz when it's all said and done and over with. Trina was walking off the stage and she was like, okay, good. She was like, you know, I'm about to go smoke and drink. I was like, did she just really just say she about to go smoke and drink? I said, well, maybe she ain't ready. And I was like, I said, but then again, maybe she's talking about drink, you know, I don't know, get a cup of water. I said, I don't know what she's talking about when she said it. I said, so I really got to Google, you know, did Trina just have a baby? Or, you know, or is she pregnant? I'm interested now. Usually I don't be interested in too many, you know, celebrity or figures and what's going on with them and this, that, and the third, or, you know, things like that. I just don't. But, you know, I'll be like, it is what it is. But last night Verzuz made me intrigued. But Trina was dressed nice. Her and he, they really were. They came out and baby, they were to the, you know, head to toe. Whoa, okay, you decide to take off on green across the street. It happens, you know, you figure you got time or you timed it right. You be like, okay, the countdown is on the countdown, but I think I can get across even though it's on number 2. The countdown going down to 1, but you still go for it. And apparently that's what that lady did. She went for it. So, what can you say? She went for it. She went ahead and scoot boot on. So, we almost to the garage, y'all. I want to say thank you for commuting with me this morning, being part of my drive into work and everything. And I pray you guys have a good day, a great day, an awesome day, a beautiful day, a wonderful day, a blessed day. You know, may you get to work, home, or your destination of choice safe and sound in one piece. No hassle, fuss, trouble, problems, or misunderstandings. especially
move your hand past the motion sensor.
Especially with no meet and greets. And try not to let people work your nerves down to the last of the frizzle frazzles. That you are able to actually just, you know, just, woo, let me go and walk away. I'll be okay. Woo, let me calm down and go find a corner. Woo, you know, try not to let people work you up. You know, just we all just try to be respectful as best we can. So with that, I'm going to park the car, and I will talk to you guys later. Ooh, that is so close. Let me get over here. No, I'm not. No, I'm not. I said I was not going to be parking on that side because last time I parked on that side, my car was hot. So, all right. I'll talk to y'all later.